To say the least, we live in an age of skepticism. That skepticism largely has to do with what you might call transcendent reality, religious claims and claims of ultimate meaning. Specific claims of meaning or of religion are usually dismissed as arrogant or bigoted or what have you. Well, that skepticism has a storied history that goes back maybe 300 or 400 years and is characterized by a worldview that developed through this period called modernism. Modernism is complex, but it has two basic claims. The first is that reason is central. Reason, that is human reason, the human capacity to think, is the ultimate judge of truth. Modernist philosophers such as Immanuel Kant and David Hume both believed, even though they disagreed on other things, that reason was central as a judge. The second claim is that special revelation, specific religious claims that God had revealed himself in a way to a specific people at a specific time, and with that miracles, were simply dismissed out of hand. Since reason could not discover and establish it, then those things had no substantive meaning. Think of it like this. Under a modernist perspective, reason is like a ladder. With each successive rung, we climb up that ladder to truth. The obvious problem is that the ladder is only as tall as human reason's capacity to understand ultimate truth. Once you're at the top of the ladder, you've run out. There's nothing more to discover. And the history of Western philosophy is characterized in this period by the discovery that the ladder is shorter than we thought. David Hume was a famous skeptic. Friedrich Nietzsche, who was an atheist, argued that if God did not exist, there was no further basis for objective meaning, purpose, or value. Anything was permitted. This conclusion that there is no transcendent reality is actually more of an admission that the ladder is shorter than we initially thought. This leaves us with a serious problem in today's culture, because all of us desire transcendence. We desire objective, transcendent meaning and purpose and value. But we've been told by the modern worldview that we have inherited that those things are undiscoverable. We're left with a dilemma. Either reject modernism and accept transcendent meaning, purpose, and value, or reject objective meaning, purpose, and value and accept modernism. What does that look like? Well, what it looks like is instead of trying to climb the ladder towards truth, we need to accept the fact that truth has reached his hand down to us. In other words, God himself has communicated to us things greater than human understanding. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25 says that the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom. It's an amazing claim, because the idea is that there are things that we can come to know that we could not know on our own. God is communicating to us through his Son, the God who became incarnate, who died on the cross for our sins, rose from the dead, ascended into heaven, as the physical revelation of God himself and his will on earth. We shouldn't be surprised that the things he communicates to us are greater than we can imagine. But it's only by accepting, humbly accepting, what God communicates to us that we can find transcendent meaning, purpose, and value that is real and that is substantive. We might have to reject the modern worldview, but the modern worldview has proved itself to be a failure anyway. I plead with you, accept what God has given to us rather than trying to climb that ladder. That project is futile. If you have any questions on this, or if you want to learn more, Start engaging with Gambrell Street Baptist Church either online or in person. We would love to hear from you.